Welcome back to the show. Washed Up Walk-Ons presented by FanDuel. All of 2026 in the lab today, in the studio with Kaden Wetjen, two-time Jet Award winner. Could go over all the accolades and the accomplishments, but I won't. Kaden, what's up, man?
What's up? Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. Joining us from Nashville, he said. Training down there. Are you with Georgia's people? Are you with all them?
Yep, with his guys. So down there until I think the 24th is when I leave for the combine, then back to Iowa City.
Yeah, I just saw that list come out. We got a bunch of dudes going to the combine, man.
I honestly haven't even seen it yet. How many people are going?
9 so far.
9. Nice.
And that was without Gronowski and one other guy that was potentially going to be invited. I don't know. So it could be 11. It's like your whole class is going down.
Yeah, I know, dude. That's awesome.
If somebody was, I want to lead in with this. If somebody was from the future, and we're back in 2021, and you're in Iowa Western, and somebody told you that 5 years later you're going to be invited to the combine and you're going to have done all these things, two-time Jet, your face is going to be on the wall in the complex, or it already is. Would you have believed any of that? Did you see any of that happening? Can you take me back? Because it's been, I have to imagine, it's been quite the ride for you.
For sure, man. Yeah, and like you said, starting from junior college, I mean, I knew I always had the potential to play with the best, and I was really just betting on myself. The goal was to do it quicker rather than 18 years later. So, but
6-year career, man.
Yeah, I know.
You're oldish. You're like my age.
I had an option to come back, and all the guys were telling me to come back. I'm like, they were already calling me Reganey. So,
did you technically have another year?
I would have had to sue the NCAA and do all the obvious stuff, but I would have had to do all that and got it back. But yeah,
because of the JUCO stuff.
Yep.
So that rule hasn't gone through yet. That's just like a proposed thing where where JUCO doesn't count, basically.
I believe so.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is.
But that would have, I mean, you might have been like the perfect case for that, honestly. College football, like 25 years old. No, but like seriously, man, like Williamsburg, right?
Yes, sir.
I have to imagine. I didn't go watch the huddle highlights, but I have to imagine you were just cooking guys there. And then what did recruiting look like? Obviously, you had to go the JUCO route. So, like you said, there wasn't any big names that came calling for the what are you 5'10" white kid out of Williamsburg, Iowa. They just didn't want this guy, right? So talk a little bit about that path and what your mindset was coming out of high school and then over to Iowa Western, and then eventually to Iowa City.
Yeah, so my whole goal out of high school was to get a Power 5 scholarship somewhere. All I had was walk-on offers, and Iowa just had a walk-on as well. And I had a couple of FCS offers, but like I said, my goal was to play Power 5 college football. Didn't get that, and I knew Iowa Western was a powerhouse junior college, and that's it's really just another year or two of high school per se. But so kind of did that and tried to do the same thing coming out of there. All I had was Massachusetts was my only offer. I still had a preferred walk-on from Iowa and a couple other places, but just knew I could bet on myself. And there's been a bunch of guys who went to Iowa Western, then back to Iowa, and then kind of I think like Nick Easley was kind of one of the first guys that I was told about, and kind of seeing his path, and a couple other guys playing there. Going to Iowa, and eventually ended up getting a scholarship and doing some damage there. So that was kind of the whole goal.
Did some damage for sure. Tell me why. So you did have a walk-on opportunity to Iowa right out of high school.
Yes.
Why not? Why not just go right there?
I mean, I kind of wanted to play my first year. I wasn't really over the fact that I would have had to sit and watch, because I mean, we had Cooper and Charlie in there at that point, and I was kind of told, like Coach Woods said, you're most likely going to play behind them unless they get hurt. But it still would have been another year to kind of learn from them, which would help. But I mean, looking back, I wouldn't have changed it, because I met a lot of good people and good connections at Iowa Western as well. So it was really just a year setback. But was a great journey.
Was all this because obviously across the country, anybody who knows the name Kaden Wetjen now, it's connected to the punt returning, the kick returning. But you're a wide receiver as well, and I think there's a you went to the Shrine game, right? The Shrine Bowl.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, I get the games mixed up. There were some clips that came out of there where it was like, oh, Kaden Wetjen, this guy might be dangerous as an offensive weapon too. He didn't do tons of stuff on the offensive side at Iowa, but he might be a diamond in the rough for some team. Um, was the goal to be? I imagine it was to be like a receiver as the primary deal, and then the returner stuff just kind of happened, or was this returning, specialist kind of thing, which is great. I'm a specialist. I love the special teams.
Yeah.
Was that in your mind from the beginning?
That was always kind of in my mind, but I want to be a dual threat, kind of play both ways, not just special teams. But that was kind of my first opportunity, uh, especially at Iowa, was to play special teams, like to start off, because we still had an old receiver room, a bunch of guys back. So I kind of knew that wasn't going to be a easy path for a receiver right away. But the kind of return room was open, and with Cooper and Charlie in there, I was there with Charlie for one semester. Then he ended up leaving, but just kind of learning from those guys and having guys like that can mentor you and coach you, and you can watch their film and kind of see what they do, what works, what doesn't. Just kind of having those guys like that really helped as well. But yeah, my whole goal is to play receiver and returner as well.
Is how do you learn from Coop in the return game? Because he has sort of this weird like lean on you style where it's just very natural. It's almost Desmond King like, although I think
Mhm.
Coop was a little bit better at some stuff than Desmond was. Can you learn from that? Is it just a feel thing, or did you have to like develop your own style? Because it's not exactly the same as Coop's.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of comparison. Can you learn from watching tape?
yes, for sure. But I mean, kind of like you said, everybody's got their own style. I'm not like I just kind of see what works on certain touchdowns, like what the main thing was that got the play open and play started. So just kind of watching film from that aspect, knowing everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses. But I mean, I guess we were both fast white guys. That was a good comparison with those two. But
Just exciting whites, baby.
I
Let me
know
tell you. How many times have you heard that one, by the way? Like,
I've heard it a couple times. It was getting a little more popular towards the end of the season last year
yeah,
with some of
yeah.
the guys.
Yeah. I mean, you keep house calling, and it gets pretty loud.
Yeah.
The um, did you when you came to Iowa? Did you think that this was a possibility? Like, you're the two-time Jet Award winner. There's a little bit of like special outlier status that you've achieved here over the past 2 seasons. Did you always believe you? Because you are fast as shit. I mean,
Appreciate
I
it.
that speed that I can't even fathom. Never moved that quick in my life. Um, so I know that, like, going back to the playground, like, the fastest kid on the playground always has this wild confidence because he just knows he can outrun everybody. Congrats to you for being that guy for the last 24 years. Um, so was that inside you? Like, I think I can, like, I'm looking at these punt teams. I think I can weave through them and get like, I don't care if it's the Big Ten. I think I can do it. Was that always there?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I didn't know I was going to get to this point personally. Like I knew we would. I figured people would stop punting to us, to be honest with you. But thankfully,
Me
there was
too.
keep doing it. I mean, I'd watch it there. I'm like, oh shit. Well, he's giving us a chance. Might as well take this back too. Like I was like, okay, because we'd be like Coach Woods would tell us like, uh, I mean, you might get one opportunity if that, and
Dude, for the life of me, especially as a guy who my sole job was basically punt. Every time they kicked it, I'm like, what are they doing? What are they doing? The Michigan State one specifically is like mind
yeah,
blowing. You almost housed the one before it. I, so you had to be back there like, please, please, just give it to me. Did you
I
ever
know.
like when you ever? There wasn't a lot because you with your skill you didn't need to fair catch it a lot. But when you did and guys would come down and there's always John back and forth, were you ever just like, "Yeah, let me fucking have one. Let me get one." Like, you telling them like, "Hey, if I get space, it's over. I just hope you know that."
I'm not gonna lie, dude. The first year I started returning, it was a bunch of shit talk going back and forth. And then these last, like, once I started housing some, like, the dudes are just having friendly conversations now. They're like, "We're not punting you." That's what the Nebraska guys were like,
Okay.
"Yeah, we're giving you a chance." So I was like, "Wow, it's weird just having friendly conversations because it looks like I'm talking shit to them." But a lot of guys didn't talk this year after he
Yes.
started scoring. So
That's incredible. So you earned the respect. You literally you broke him. You broke him.
I know.
Dude, that's
That's why I was
incredible.
like, "Wow, I kinda like this," but I still like talking shit too. I
I did
still try to
too.
get my piece in, so
Yeah. Yeah. Man, every time you got one, could you hear the stadium? Like when there wasn't a fair catch and they knew you were gonna have an opportunity, could you hear that or did you black out?
like, early on in my career, I didn't really I kinda tune that stuff out, but then once kinda like I said, once I started scoring and, like, we started having good returns and a great unit, like, you could feel the stadium, like, you could hear them, like, rouse of the court the rouse, the roars of the crowd getting louder, and it was pretty sweet, to be honest with you, and just, like, knowing that they all had faith that we had a chance to score, even pop off a big return every single time was pretty sweet.
It reminds me a little bit of Coops last year. Yeah. Yeah, I think last year, 20 whatever year the Minnesota
Yeah.
debacle happened. Would love to get your thoughts on that, by the way. But our offense we were in a spot where we were struggling that year, and punt return and defense were like the only times that at that point where we felt like, oh my God, like the crowd got into it on those plays. Very similar to that Michigan State game. Offense struggled in the early, like honestly, for a lot of that game, all the way to the fourth quarter. But when you went back there, those were like the highlight plays every time they kicked to you, and you obviously capitalized a couple times. Um, Man, I just cannot imagine feeling it, hearing it as that ball comes down. That's got to be the most electric feeling in the world.
It is, dude, and especially, like, once you get through the gunners and then, like, up on the kicker or the shield, it's always like hearing that's when you're like, your adrenaline's just pumping out of the roof, man. It's awesome.
Does it feel like you have super speed?
Sometimes,
Like
depending
like
on
the
who's
adr- like
running.
you're on adrenaline and your legs are going faster than you thought you could even make them go?
Yeah, it's
God, that's amazing.
it's just weird, man. It's just I don't
We
know.
have a we have a like a special group of subscribers to this show that pay for extra content, and we have specific forum, and I always tell them who we have coming on, and I ask them, "Hey, you guys got any questions for the Jet?" And the one question was like, "Does he know? Does he know? Is there a moment he knows during a return where it's like, that's end zone, like it's chalk? Like, is there a moment?"
I think it's, like, if I can end up seeing the kicker, like, because usually there's a wave in front of it, but if
Yeah.
I see the kicker, I'm like, "Yeah, it's wraps. It's over," and especially, like, the Minnesota one when KJ
Oh,
Parker I saw
oh,
him and then the kicker, and then he just I mean, I kinda feel bad for that
I do
dude. He
too.
put him in the dirt, dude. But it's yeah, that was probably one of my favorite ones too, just seeing him smack the dude right in front of him.
Were you laughing as that happened? I think you might have
Yeah,
smiled
no,
before
I
you
was.
even.
That's people got pictures of it, but I was laughing because 'cause I'm like, "Holy shit, that dude just got murdered."
How was film watching that one the next day? That had to be incredible.
Oh my god, we kept watching it. So Coach Woods brought one of my T-shirts in, and he had like a coat on over top of it, and then he like peels the coat off, and it was my T-shirt with my number and name on it. And then after that, because we kept watching KJ's block, and then he takes the shirt off, and he's got KJ's jersey
Oh
on
my
underneath of that.
god.
So everybody was going nuts, and that was hilarious. But because
Uh,
it was yeah.
Dude, film after that game had to be because I wish people could. I wish people knew the spectrum of emotion and how somber film after a loss is, especially like really bad losses. You guys didn't have any this year. Um, all the way to the other end of like a Minnesota or a Wisconsin situation from this year where you're like, everything went right. People are high-fiving, talking. There's like the mood's light, the vibe is high. Like it's just Sunday's easy. And I have to imagine that Minnesota, I mean, you guys, what was going through your head in the first 2 quarters, the first half of that Minnesota game? Like, we can't do anything wrong.
I know it was. I mean, every single aspect of the game because we scored on offense, defense, and special teams. So it's like you said, like nothing's going wrong. And it was like when games are going like that, the vibes on the sideline are just like everybody's just loving each other. And
I think
I mean, not saying we don't, but
Lutt had the pick six.
yeah, yep,
You had the return. That first drive, one of my favorite plays of the season, had you in motion, and then you came back on a fake motion, and then you came back out the way you
yep.
originally came, and it took, I think it was what's your boy's name? Nestor. Nestor was following you one-on-one, and he got
Yep.
lost in the wash. And so
Mhm.
then the guy who had number 2 had to take you, and Mark just kind of like one steps it and walks in. Oh my God. What a
Yep.
way to start that game, bro. That that was an incredible day. Was that like the easiest game of the year? Was that just the one that felt the best?
I don't know. They like that game, the Wisconsin game, and then the Nebraska, like towards the second quarter and beyond, like the 3 of the biggest trophy games we got, which the Iowa State game, obviously we don't want to talk about that one. But
Might have to talk about that one.
I figured, but those games, it was like they all felt similar, like in the terms of like we aren't really doing anything wrong. Like just beating the crap out of your big rivals too
Yeah.
that was the best part.
Let's talk Iowa State. Let's bring it up. How do we feel about that one?
No bueno.
No
Bad
bueno.
game personally,
Yeah.
but like I don't know. It was one game that was like I feel like everything was going wrong for everybody. Like we couldn't get anything going on offense, and it's just like, and then their last drive that they ended up they scored, kicked a field goal. I think it was like 3rd and 8. It gets tipped, hits a dude's hand off the helmet, up over the guy, and I'm like, what the hell? Just wasn't meant to be. One of those type deals, but
That play, we did an episode. I actually got my hands on the all 22 film. And so we did an episode about a month ago on the biggest what if plays of the season.
yeah,
And that was like an honorable mention because it's a non-conference game and technically you could lose that and do everything that you want. But when you rewatch that play, I don't know if it's God or magic or what it is, but dude, that even to the point where it gets double tipped to his outside where Cohen couldn't contest it.
yeah,
Like the only guy, it was great. That is one of those plays where you sit there and you think, oh, they just weren't meant to win this game.
yeah,
There's just that's just intervention.
yeah,
For you personally, tough game, right?
yeah,
Toughest of your career individually.
yeah. That's what I said. I mean, starting off with a headbutt to the dude, that didn't really start the game off hot, you know.
Yeah, let me know like what's going on there.
So I was getting my face shoved in the ground. I had like 3 dudes on top of me, pushing my head into the ground, kicking me. Like I felt somebody kick my helmet too, so I like got up and got him off me. And shocker, it's like
You were just trying to you were matching energy, and
I was
that's all
trying
it
to
was.
get him off me. I'm like, get the hell off of me, dude. Like I'm getting like all the guys were talking and they're like, what did you do wrong? You just got him off of you, like because I just kind of whipped my head like that, and of course they got me instead of them. But yeah, rough.
It's always the second guy, right?
Yes, every time.
I do think it's bullshit because if you're matching energy and the refs see that they're doing that to you, you should be able to at least come to their level to equal out the situation. And I'm sure in the moment, emotions are running hot, you're in Ames. You probably felt like pretty much the same. Like if I get up and at least match this, then it's equal. We're all good. Everybody walks away from the play. Of course, they
Yeah.
throw the flag. Why is there? I mean, I'm sure you've had time to reflect. Is there any reason you think why that day was just a bad day for you?
Not sure, to be honest with you. Like I felt fully prepared and like ready to go for the game. And I was juiced up. Had a bunch of family and friends in the crowd. So I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a good day. And then literally the first play of the game that happened, I'm like, okay, move on to the next. And then yeah, just kept it was one of
Just
those deals,
yeah,
man.
snowball.
Yeah.
But it must have been bad oatmeal in Ames pregame meal.
I don't know, because we stayed in Ankeny the night before
Yeah.
and drove up, but I don't know.
What's the Caden Wetjen pregame meal?
So all the receivers make fun of me because I typically clean my plate every single time. Like I'll
What?
scrape the sauce off. Like there's nothing left every time.
You get made fun
That-
of for eating all your food?
yeah, because they leave like half their plate full and they're like, I mean, they're still eating when I'm completely done and ready. They're like, geez, you gotta and I sometimes eat the rest of their food, you know. I'm the dumpster. That's what I am, man. And I'm it's
Maybe they
like
gotta start acting like you. Maybe they get a little faster or something.
I know. I'm a little fat too, but you know,
You're fat. What do you
I'm
weigh?
what 195,
At 5'10", 5'9", 5'10"?
5'9". I'm sticking with 5'9" now.
Is that what you weigh or measured at the East West?
They measured me at 5'8", and I was like half bent over. So now all my buddies get on me. They call me 5'8" right after that. I'm like, we're gonna wait till the combine to get this squared away.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
let's hope it's 5'9". I was 5'9", 02 in the spring when the scouts came in and did that stuff.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. I have about 3 different measurements. I don't know what all that is. So we'll see the official one here in a
I
couple
would take
weeks.
5'9". I'd take
Yeah,
5'9".
yeah, me too.
Um, what's the meal? What are you big on the pregame meal the night before and the snack? You
I
putting
eat
away?
usually
You
like
put
2 steaks, a salad, mashed potatoes, and then some ice cream, man.
yeah.
And then the
Come on.
morning, I don't really like eating the breakfast, so I'll get like hash browns, macaroni and cheese, and then like some chicken with some sauce, so honey mustard.
Honey mustard, dude. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. God, somehow that did not work for me. I was not as fast as you, but our meals were very similar. Is I hopefully he texts me back. We've been going back and forth, but sometimes he just ghosts me. Dunker. Do they have to set up an entire different assembly line for him? Because the viral clips of his like diet and how much he eats and the Culver's meals that he's putting away. Is he actually just sitting there like a pig at a trough? Is that real?
I just see him. I mean, he's just got 2 or 3 plates walking back to the table. I'm like, oh well. I mean, you see the size of him when you're in person. You're like, yeah, that's a big dude.
He's so
So,
big. He's so
but
big.
I mean, I think it was 7 or 8 shakes a day. He said, like the first year I was there with him, when he was kind of trying to bulk up. It might have been like 2022 or 3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that.
But
Yeah.
that dude, he's nuts, man.
Is he the biggest guy on the team?
I think he might be because it was
You're
YA last year, and then I think it has to be him.
I feel like do you guys have any like real tall like when we were there, like we had two guys that were 6'7", but not like crazy tall, but they were 6'7". Is there anybody who's like any of the younger linemen that like we don't know that
Cannon, Cannon, our backup lineman, he's got to be 6'8" or 6'9", I guess. But like, I don't think he weighs as much as Dunk, even though he's that tall.
that's crazy.
So,
So
I'm,
that guy's on the shake program right now.
yeah,
Unbelievable.
he
Um so last year successful year. 2 years ago, that is, 2024. You come back, you're the Jet Award winner. It's hard to repeat, but I have to imagine that was the goal.
for sure.
But like you mentioned, you're sitting there going, they have the ability to just never let me return this. And one team that did really well. Unfortunately, I was there for this. God, what a heartbreaker. Oregon, and they did it to everybody. What was so? I mean, I know kind of, but like, can you talk about why Oregon's punt was so successful? They didn't punt a lot, first of all, but
Yeah.
why was Oregon so successful at like not allowing returns? I think on the year they had like 3 returns attempted on them or something crazy like that.
Yep. Because their punter, well, like you said, first of all, they rarely ever even punted, and they had a couple fakes. And then against us, I actually played with one of their receivers in the Shrine Bowl game, and he's like, "Yeah, we weren't letting you get a return that game." So they put 6 gunners, I think it was, out.
Wild formation.
Like they had nobody in the box. He said, our whole game plan for you was to our punter to hold it as long as he could and just kick it to where you can't return it. Just kick it into the gunners. So
Worked.
that was their plan. And then Nebraska did the same damn thing.
Did
So
they?
yes, they ended up coming out with 5 gunners, I think.
I saw. So I was the 2015 team got honored that game, so we were there. Wish it wasn't raining. That might have given you a shot if it wasn't as wet. Like there could have been, who knows.
Yeah.
But when they came out with that like weird set where they just threw everybody out there, it looked like they were spreading out to run 55s. Like,
I
hey,
know.
everybody get your space. And I was like, whoa, this is I could tell they spent all week. The coaches were like, if you let this Weechin kid return it on you guys, you're all fired. You're fired.
It was the
They
week
spent it.
after the Minnesota game, so
Yeah,
probably shouldn't have house one against them.
yeah,
They got a chance.
probably shouldn't have, man. Yeah, you didn't need it that game.
I
And
know.
then they would have had less of a alarm bells up for when they came to Iowa City.
Yeah.
Um,
Bad game plan by me.
what was it like playing in that Oregon game? Man, it was just even in the stands, it felt like it was just edge of your seat for the entire 60.
I know. That was a hell of a game the whole time. And like even when we scored at the end to go ahead with a minute and a half left, I was like, yeah, it's wraps. And I even like I said, I played with the Oregon kid and he's like, you guys scored, and I was like, yep, there goes our playoff hopes. He's like, it was done. And then he was actually the one that ended up catching it.
No, he's the one who caught the dart from Dante.
Yeah. And he's like, there that couldn't have been a better thrown ball because the defender was right there. It's just crazy.
Dude, TJ played it perfectly.
I know. And it felt like the Iowa State play where you're like, yep, it wasn't meant to be. Literally an inch lower if his hand or the ball is.
Were you in? Were you? Yeah, you weren't. When Mark walked in, were you in the game?
Yes, I was out wide.
It was that more electric than you catching back on an island, catching punts. That was, I mean, going back to when you were at Iowa Western, I think that was the most electric moment in Kinnick since Petrus hit Nico against Penn State.
Yeah.
That mark, empty set touchdown had to have been the most electric moment since then. What was it like on the field when you realized, like, you look over and you're like, oh my God, we scored?
That was, I'd say for sure, that was definitely the most, like, just hearing the crowd roar after that, because like everybody's first thought was like, yeah, it's game over. And I was the same way, but damn, man.
Can you tell me, do you have any insight on why the way they covered you guys was like they outmanned both sides of our wide receivers and they left a single linebacker to get washed out by our offensive line? They gave Mark that touchdown.
I'm not sure, but I mean, we got a quarterback who loves running draw, and I mean, that's like one of our more successful plays. So I'm not sure what they were doing on that one.
I think the defensive coordinator gets fired if they don't lose, if they don't win that game.
Yeah.
You watch the tape on it, which I'm sure you have, and it's mind blowing that they came out in that formation on 4th and 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run some ads quick, and then we'll come back. We got plenty more to talk about. We'll be back in just a second.
Hey, it's Peter Harmon, the food guru, here to talk about Gray's Gourmet To Go. At Gray's Gourmet To Go, we are madly and passionately in love with 3 things: chicken lips, pizza, and great food to go. Chicken lips are the most beloved food in Iowa City. And if you don't know what a chicken lip is, you're really missing out. Our second passion is pizza. We're hell-bent on making great pizza. Yeah, you can get cheap pizza anywhere. But if you're a real pizza aficionado, you gotta try our meatball pizza. It's made with a natural starter. And like sourdough bread, it's soft and crispy and light as air. And the third thing that we're wildly and passionately in love with is great food to go. We believe you want to feed your family something great at home, but you're too busy with life to stop and cook. That's why we built Gray's Gourmet to Go. So the next time you need to feed the gang and you don't feel like cooking, just come to graysgourmettogo.com.
At Illini Golf, the game never stops. Featuring an exclusive PuttView putting green and 5 4-site simulator bays, the most advanced technology in the area, designed to bring the golf community together. Illini Golf is a place where beginners feel welcome and experienced players stay challenged. Perfect for practice, lessons, and fun any time of year. Whether you're chasing lower scores or just chasing fun, Illini Golf is where every swing counts. Call now to book your simulator. Illini Golf. Everything you need.
Rising utility rates combined with Eagle Point Solar's residential manufacturer's rebate program make this the perfect time to go solar. For a limited time while supplies last, purchase a residential solar array and receive a rebate check of 20 to 30% cash back. Hurry, this electrifying offer won't last long. Request a free solar analysis estimate today and take control of your high electric bill once and for all. Consult with an Eagle Point Solar energy consultant or visit eaglepointsolar.com for full details.
How about that? I know one of those piqued your interest. You got Pete and Kim just slinging grays. Is that your favorite?
Yes, that was my favorite cater meal for sure.
Gotta be. You're gonna miss that. You know that, right?
I know.
It's gone forever.
I'm gonna try to sneak in there, train for the pro day, try to get some grays one of them days. So
I do imagine that when your face is on the wall, you probably have more privileges than somebody like me. So you could probably snag a meal or two when you want. Talk to me about that. Your face is on the wall forever in that building. What's that feel like?
it's crazy, man. I haven't seen it yet personally. So it'll be really I feel like the first time when I actually see it with my own eyes, it'll be crazy. And just kind of like getting there the first time, like my whole goal, I was like, yeah, I want to get on that wall. Because it's very few. You just think about like all the teams and all the players that went through. It's just a small number of people, and just try to get up on that wall was the whole goal. And that was really the whole goal for this year, was be consensus. So ended up getting it, and it'll be surreal to see my face up there.
It's like impossible to do what you did. Like, honestly, you solidified yourself in the conversation with the guy who the Big Ten award is named after, or at least half of. I think it's Dwight and
Rutgers.
Yeah, Rutgers. How much back and forth have you had with Tim Dwight?
I've had a decent amount with him since last spring, the Jet Award. He was there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the first time we were really connecting, and he was texting me all year round, and even like before the games, like before the Michigan State games, like go out there and break it 2-1. So just having a guy like that, like a legend, Iowa legend, texting you and telling me to go break his own record is just awesome. And just the guy that he is it's been an awesome connection to have.
And I know it's hard to talk about yourself. I'm on the side that Kaden Wetjen is now Iowa's greatest returner of all time. And I lay down the case that you're potentially the best in Big Ten history. I think you have the best average over a career now in history, or at least single season. There's a lot of people out there that are very nostalgic, like a little older, that watched Tim Dwight in their college days when they were coming up, when they first got into Iowa football, who are holding on to Timmy D. I don't know. I think you've overtaken it. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'll leave that up to the fans, man.
He's gonna let the
dude and then with Coach too, and just like seeing him get the ball, gone, and just some of the plays he had too were insane. So just being in the conversation
Here's
with
my
the guy is awesome.
Here's my argument, okay? In his day, it was pro style punt. There was no put the 5 gunners out on the edge, open up the space, let the punter rugby and hold on to it. I think it's significantly harder for a guy like Kaden Wetjen in 2025 to return in general, let alone house calls like you did, break the actual record for touchdowns. It just seems like in today's day and age, it's much harder for a returner. The punt team and the punter have gotten the advantage because of the rules and because of the style that people have gone to. Do you agree with that?
I agree, and like just some of the freaking Australians, man, like just watching some of the kicks that they have. Like I tell people all the time, having Tory to punt, like catch punts from is, dude, it's hell during the season. Like getting my ass chewed all like I didn't really get chewed out this year, but last year and the year before, just like dropping punts in practice. You have 30-mile-an-hour wind with him punting with 5-second hang time. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. Like some of the things these guys can do now, and like even the Rutgers guy, he just rolls out and just kicks it and then just lets it tumble. Like it's so weird.
It's tough, man. I don't think people understand the difference between when it was just 2 gunners and everybody else is back there, setting, slide stepping, and you're just looking at 2 gunners in front of you, and then you've got so much space between you and the core at that point, or when it's pro style versus now. Oregon throws 5 gunners out there, the entire team's in your face before you can even get to the ball.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Rutgers game, no punt return there, but you had what was potentially I think I could have returned this kick. Like you barely went side to side. The way this lined up. Tell me what this looked like from your view, because it was like a 100-yard dash basically.
Dude, that was like I even Coach Ferentz, like, yeah, I think Coach Ferentz could have scored that one. Okay. I think KF even said that in the meeting. He's like, yeah, I think I could have ran through that hole, but it's like,
holy shit, okay.
I was like, it was so confusing because like even the scout guys in practice, like I feel like those are the toughest looks we get all year round, which is weird. But like just seeing that hole open and all I could see was my off return, TJ Washington, and then the kicker. I'm like, it's over. Like I knew it was refs at the 15-yard line coming out of the end zone. I'm like, what the hell? And to start off the game too, just hearing that, because that crowd was actually, we were told Rutgers was going to be a bad environment, and they had a blackout, and that was actually one of the better environments we played at. So that was crazy.
Good for Rutgers, because that's hard for them to do. That is not the case there. I played in that stadium during the day when they were not, they did up. You guys probably are insulated to that stuff, but that week they were promoting that game heavy, the blackout and a night game, and trying to get a ton of people there because, like you said, like most of the time they're not pulling that kind of crowd or environment. They were trying to pull out all the stops to beat the Hawks that night. And and in the game too, man, Callie McManus and that Ian Strong kid, oh my God, they were balling.
That
was a hell of a game.
They're nuts. That was a shootout. That was probably I guess that in the Vandy game, but like typically you don't see a shootout with Iowa football. So that was like really fun to be a part of for sure. And like, well, we got to outscore them because they were just, I mean, some of the catches those receivers were making that game were just nuts. They're like another one of those games like, well, just got to do this and prevail at the end. So
that would have been the Big Ten opener.
Yes.
Yeah. That was your first Big Ten game. And at that point you played the 3 non-conference. Iowa State was shaky. Mark forgot how to throw the ball in the first game of the year. And it was like, what's this offense look like? And that Rutgers game really provided a lot of insight into like, oh, this offense can actually do some shit if they need to.
Sure.
And it was exciting, man. Like we won a game with offense. I think the lead change went back and forth like 5 or 6 times in that game. Yeah. Like a true shootout. It was fun, man. And Did it feel like that game kind of provided the team momentum? I mean, I know you go in, I think you come back and play Indiana that next week, but it had to baseline a little confidence for
For
you
sure.
guys.
For sure. And I mean, like you said, we had to end up stepping up and scoring because it was a back and forth game the whole time. So like knowing like that was also giving the defense confidence because we also started out not too hot on offense first couple of games. So kind of giving them that confidence that we can do that and put some points on the board. Just it kind of brought the whole team together a little more and like I said, just gave us more confidence throughout the season.
The Rutgers return might be your easiest one that you had. What's your favorite, Kaden Wetjen's personal favorite house call of your career?
I'd have to say probably the Michigan State punt return now to break the record. But other than that, the Minnesota one was fun just because I was laughing after watching the pancake there. And so I actually, my girlfriend, her brother plays for Minnesota. So that was
Oh,
also,
really?
yep. And
Oh,
her
that's
whole
fun.
family was up right in the corner of the end zone there where I scored in the Minnesota gear. So I had to do the row the boat for them.
You did hit him with the row, huh?
Yeah, and they weren't too happy about that. It's
That's
okay.
incredible. Forgot to bring up our second mention of FanDuel here. Iowa, the Hawks, Caden. I don't know if I don't want to. There's nobody getting in trouble. We've already been through this. Noah Shannon, justice for Noah Shannon, and all the people who got robbed by the NCAA. But if you are one of those people out there who listen to the show and like to dabble with a little sports betting, the FanDuel odds for Iowa to win the national championship next year are currently plus 12,500. A lot of value there. A lot of value on the Hawks. Maybe Caden can give me some insight into Jeremy Hecklinski or whoever's going to be the quarterback. We'll talk about that in a second, actually, because you would know. I mean, you're catching balls from these guys. Okay, so you like the Michigan State return. That one makes sense. My favorite was it that one where you scored and you just like slammed the ball down on the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
that was cool. That was like a little cement. That was fun. Talk to me about Coach Woods. I know he's off to be a Spartan now, which feels a little bit dirty, but talk to me about him, your development under him. Did he recruit you from Iowa Western? Was he part of the conversation? How much do you credit him in being able to open up opportunities for you? Is he really a great special teams coach, or do people just say that? And that's a tongue-in-cheek question, but
yeah.
In your words, tell me.
Coach Woods, I mean, I love the guy to death, and he's not only a great person but a great coach as well. But him and Coach Wallace were really kind of the two main ones coming to see me at Iowa Western and heading on that. And Coach Woods was calling me the year before when they offered me a preferred walk-on when I decided to go to Iowa Western and stay there instead of going there for a year. But yeah, he's helped me so much throughout my career. And actually, kind of the first time he came to Iowa Western at like 11:30. He was late. He was coming through from a recruiting visit, and it looked like a little drug deal in the rec center parking lot. Just us two in the car there.
Just 11:30 at night in Council Bluffs?
11:30 at night, yeah. Because
Holy
it was
shit.
supposed to be like 8 or 9, and then he ended up coming through later.
Just to talk to you for a second?
Yeah. So just like seeing how much that meant to him too, like knowing that they really wanted me, and ended up choosing to go to Iowa that spring. Just my first year at Iowa, like I knew I was getting redshirted, so I kind of just used that as like a little off year, which that's one thing I say I regret was not putting more effort into film and even watching guys and trying to get more study hours in. But he kind of got after me one practice. He said, "You should go back to JUCO." Those weren't the exact words, obviously. There's some
expletives,
other words in there, but just kind of after that, and then he had
Coach Woods said that?
Yeah, I know.
I love that. That sounds like more of a Wallace thing to say. Like,
oh, for sure.
Wait, and get your ass back to Council Bluffs.
No, Wallace. I got after him too all the time. He was an awesome guy as well and a great coach. But just kind of having conversations like that with Coach Woods and even some of the other coaches, but just kind of getting like a reality check and really understanding what it takes to play at the next level. Because they asked me, like, where do you want to play? I'm like, I want to play in the NFL, but they're like, well, what you're doing right now is not going to get it done. So just kind of hearing that from them and getting that input was a really big help, and don't regret anything. And so glad I'm good friends with them now, and got a chance to play for them.
What do you think about the move to Michigan State?
I mean, his goal was to become a head coach in the future, and I mean, obviously, Coach Wallace is next in line at Iowa, so he's not going to get that at Iowa anytime soon. So I wasn't like overly shocked, but I was shocked at the same time. It was just a weird feeling because it was just like just played for him and now he's gone. But happy for him, and I know what he wants to do in the future. So obviously, I think that was the next step he had to take to get there.
You think he'll be a great head coach?
Yeah, for sure. I think he will. He's an awesome players coach too. So
He is. He relates to the guys really well. If Kaden Wetjen was coach and he was looking for a punt returner or a kick returner, what are give me the traits? How do I find a potentially great returner? Because man, whatever Coach Woods and the boys are doing over in Iowa City is working. Go back down the line, you, Coop, Charlie, down the list, all the way back to Desmond in my time. How do we find these guys? What are the traits? You just have to have balls of steel? You got to be fucking psycho, or what is it?
I think that's part of the first one I was going to say, was just being fearless, like having guys that don't really care about getting injured or care about guys running full speed down at you, trying to take you out. Because that's really the main, like having the attack mindset. Like my whole goal was to return every single ball that I possibly could, like knowing that we could get field position. And the first couple of years I was there, we kind of needed that. So that's kind of where some of it started as well. But just knowing, like, just having that attack mindset, and obviously having somebody who's fast enough to elude people, and also shifty enough to make moves and get in through holes, because I'm not I wouldn't say I'm the most shiftiest guy. I'm another white guy, man. Just don't have it. But
just don't got it.
Guys like that who can make guys miss and just run away from people.
You can put your foot in the dirt though. Dude, when was it the Michigan State one where you just kind of went immediately sideways and then got the speed at which you went horizontal and then went vertical was absurd. Do you ever shock yourself on film? Like, man, I'm fast. I am fast. Like,
sometimes, not really though.
You're just used to being fast. That's a slow guy question. Never been fast. So
we got a bunch of dudes in the team who can fly too. So
talk to me about your return unit, the guys who are blocking, because I watched a couple reps this year. I try to use the eye I have and just experience of being in that film room, because it's not just Kaden Wetjen back there that's making these returns happen. Dude, some of the blocks these guys are putting up. I think Preston Rees was on. Talk to me about your unit, man, because these guys are dogs.
I firmly believe that we had the best unit in the country, and I don't think it was even close. Like, all 10 other guys were like super invested in, like, they knew what we had and we could score every time. Like, I always told the gunners, like, just get them eliminated, the corners, get the gunners eliminated. And having TJ Hall, Jalen Watson, even Deshaun Lee in there sometimes, just kind of mixing around, knowing that those guys, they're Iowa DBs, so they love grabbing and love getting hands on. So I knew the gunners wouldn't be a problem until Oregon and Nebraska, when they have 17 gunners out there. But guys like that, getting them eliminated right away, getting the return started, and then having everybody else, like all the linebackers and the guys rushing in the unit that are finishing, like you said, Preston, I think it was the UMass one. Him and Rexroth were on the guys for like 10 seconds. I was trying to weave around to get there. So just everybody kind of working their butts off and blocking, just really gave me confidence as well to return, because I knew they'd be blocking their asses off for me and try to get us into the end zone. And we had some Josephs for the rewards for that. So that also helped.
Hey, let's go. This is bullshit. This is honestly bullshit. because these guys are getting paid a ton of cash now. Wetjen's over here making, I don't know, God knows how much money. Now they can all go have steak dinner. These guys are all, this isn't for you, Kaden. This is for all the listeners. And this is from me, a former guy who missed out on the NIL era. And I'm supposed to be getting my payback here over like a 10-year period. You know, they have a great game now and they just go, it's just steak dinner. You know, we got Poncheros. $8 burrito at Poncheros. And I know, still a great meal for you guys. I'm sure you went and had plenty of Poncheros. That's all we could afford. All right. So, and you deserve it. I'm kidding. But, man, a little Joseph's celebration dinner wouldn't be bad. The Michigan State one, Preston, it might have been Rexroth. I can't remember who. It was a kid I had never even heard before. I didn't even know who he was. Another probably linebacker-ish type. You could probably name him. They had these guys locked up like it was Alcatraz. I mean, these guys had no chance. The blanket, or whatever you want to call it, the net that you're supposed to create as the punt team,
Yep.
it was fucked from the beginning. I mean, they are pushing these guys to the other side of the field. That some of these, I just imagine the other punt meetings that these teams are having after they play you guys, and they're standing at the front of the room like, "Hey guys, what are we doing?" Right? Because this isn't how it's supposed to happen. And I find that very comical. Tell me about the Shrine game. What was that experience like for you? And I from at least the social media side of things, it sounded like your stock went up there. You got a couple opportunities to raise your stock. It sounds like you took advantage of the first one.
Yeah, for sure. And like the whole goal down there, like I was told, everybody knows I can return. So I was really just focusing on the receiver reps and the one-on-ones, and luckily did really good in that. And got feedback from all the scouts, and they said I did a great job all week, and like you said, boosted the stock. So that was the whole goal for the Shrine game, and getting that feedback was nice to hear as well. And I knew going into the game that like a lot of people don't really know, they haven't seen me really play receiver much. More just getting screens, bubble screens, and even some touches out of the backfield. But just getting that, just kind of playing against guys. And I mean, there were some top dogs there at corner as well, corner and safety. So just getting some reps against those guys and knowing if I beat them, it'd look really good. And that's what happened.
What does it look like for you to carve out? Because as good as you are, I mean, you're probably stepping into the league and you're going to be considered one of the top threats on the return side of things. And even with that status, knowing what it takes to make a 53-man roster, in your mind right now as you prep down in Nashville, what does it take for Kaden Wetjen to actually carve out a spot, one of those coveted spots, and for them to actually take you to a dress day like you've got? And I don't even think they dress 53. I think it's like 48 or something like that. How do you do that?
Well, it's just trying to solidify myself as a returner already, because like I said, I think I can. I don't think I know I can go make an impact immediately in the return game, and even just kind of talking to some of the scouts. Just I know I'm not a top 3 receiver on a team in the NFL, but like even getting to the 4 or 5 slot, that still contributes a good amount in the games. Like even getting that and just kind of boosting my stock as an overall athlete and player on the team. That's kind of the main goal. So, going back to the bottom, it's really like it's really like my whole career, honestly, starting from the bottom, working way back up top. So nothing I haven't seen before, and ready to get going after it, man.
Used to it.
Yeah.
What are we gonna run at the combine?
I said I'd take anything in the 4.4s, but if I run a 4.3, I'll probably go out to Brothers.
Yeah. That'll be worthy of celebration.
Yeah. Sure.
Are you fairly confident that you'll run in the 4.4s?
Yeah, for sure. And we have guys down here with they got a bunch of lasers and times, and they said they'd be able to get us down to the nearest 1,000th. So I actually run that tomorrow to see what I get. So
okay.
So that'll be better, because I haven't ran a 40 since 7th grade. So
I think that's people don't. We talked about that before, but people don't. At least for those listening at Iowa, they don't. We didn't run 40s. Like
No.
we didn't test 40s. Our conditioning stuff was longer, or change of direction. Occasionally we'd run like the 10. They're going to give you like a 10 split at the combine, 10, 20, 40. And we'd use that as one of the testing markers, but there were no like lineup everybody. It's 40 day on the Iowa offseason program.
No.
So you're kind of in the dark until you actually get to the combine or pro day prep. What's your does anything else matter for you? Is anything really important? Is the bench important? Is the 3-cone important? Shuttle?
I'm really just mainly focused on the shuttle, the 40, and then the 3 cones. So,
What are we expecting on those?
trying to run in the 3/8 for the pro agility, and then I honestly I've never like ran. I mean, because at Iowa we do the pro agility every spring. They love that drill, so I'm not too worried about that. And then the 40's just running, but the little L drill, I like. We've never ran that, so I'm still getting used to that now, and honestly don't know what a good time is for that yet. So we'll see.
For like elite speed guys like you, I think it's like 6:06. I want to say.
Gotcha.
I ran like an insane time, and I know everybody listening is like, Kluver, we don't fucking care what you ran. For a fat long snapper, diabetic long snapper, I ran 6:86 on that. So
Fun.
yeah, it would have been like third at the combine. Just saying.
Nice.
But we had some like elite. We were at Iowa. Everybody's so crazy at those drills because it's what we do. So yeah. You gonna bench like 30 reps or what?
I ain't benching, dude.
You don't
look jacked up, but
Yeah.
I don't want to get 7 or 8 reps and then they'll be like, "What the hell?"
It also doesn't matter at all for you.
I know that's what I was told. So I'm like, yeah, if it doesn't matter, I'm not too
Just
focused on that. I'll focus on the speed stuff. So
after whenever football does end, hopefully it's 15 years from now, and you've got the most return touchdowns in NFL history. Is the plan to head back to Williamsburg and join the dynasty that Austin Blythe has started?
somewhere around the area. I mean, got a girlfriend too, so she's got input on that. So we'll see what happens. But I did say at some point, even a year or two, I wanted to go coach high
You
school
do?
football, just to like because my dad coached and they ended up winning a championship. But I just want to show them that it takes a year or two to win a championship.
Is he still on staff or is he done now?
He's done. This is his last year this year. So
Oh man,
yeah,
look at
but
that. He's riding off into the sunset.
yeah, for sure.
You have to take over now.
Yeah, we'll see. Austin will have that program in good shape for however long he's there. So
If I had to choose a guy to do it, he would be a good one to have.
For sure.
Blythe is a winner. Well, dude, we appreciate you coming on the show, carving out some time. I know you're there grinding away in Nashville, trying to soul focus. You get this very unique period of time in your life where assuming you become a pro athlete, it changes a little bit, but all you get to do is just I get to train, and I don't know what else you do. Probably play video games. I don't know. A little bit. Yeah. You're still a college kid. That's what it's like. Not anymore. Wait till your 30s. And it's a fun time, but I know it's a time of intense focus. So carving out a little time for old guys like us is cool, man. And we appreciate everything you did in the black and gold. It was. Oh, I know. I was gonna say it was fun watching you return touchdowns. Do we have anybody? Is anybody else gonna return some touchdowns for us? Do we have anybody waiting in the wings? Do you have some guys that you feel confident in that are gonna fill your spot?
there's a couple guys that I think could be pretty solid. And I mean, Zach Lubmer, I'd say he was the backup last year for me, and that dude can fly too. So I could definitely see him doing that. But we'll see if he wants to be like Coop and play go straight from DB to punt returner, or we'll see if he's soft. I give him crap all the time, but he's more than capable of doing the same thing. So there's also I don't know who they're going to play. There's a bunch of young guys who can fly as well, and do stuff with the ball in their hands. So it'll be interesting to see.
Good to hear. Kaden Wetjen, everybody. Hopefully you liked the episode. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with another one. Until then, peace.